Good morning, guys. It's Gary from DIY Electronics. Today, what I'm going to be showing you guys, this might be one of my longer videos for you. I've had a couple of requests to go over how to swap out a Concord 4 and a Concord Express motherboard. That's the entire control panel. So this is going to be a twofold one. I'm going to show you how to replace the motherboard, plus I'm going to show you how to swap out the chip from your old board to the new board so that there will be no programming required. Now, one of the reasons that you would want to replace the control board is just say that it just stopped working for some reason. It just crashed. I've got a gentleman down in Florida right now where we've been conversing back and forth for about a week. And finally we figured out that the board is trash because of the non-replaceable fuse that's on the control board. It's an auto resetting fuse, and he got hit by a power surge and it possibly damaged the resettable fuse in here. And it's not replaceable by a homeowner. I could do it if he was to send me the board. I could replace it, but he opted just to change the whole control out, and just in case there was more damage in the board. And you know, that's a long story, but anyways, I'm going to show you how to swap out a motherboard, and then I'm going to show you how to swap chips with it so that there's no programming. So guys, before I get started, just in case you didn't know, on my website I have Concord 4 motherboards, in case you want a motherboard replacement for yourself, or say you want to upgrade from a Concord Express to the Concord 4. I do have the boards on my website. I do have Concord Express boards on my website, and again, these are all factory refurb boards, and the chips have been defaulted. There is no information from any other customer on these. These are brand new factory chips in here. So you'll get it, and it's 1234 and 4321 to get into the program. There's no dealer codes, nothing hidden in it. This is all factory refurb board. All right, and also I have, in case you have just one of these ADT dumb keypads, I have replacements. This is the ATP 2100 full English keypad. All right, alpha keypad, and you can program everything that is in that control panel. You can get into the program. You can wipe out all the ADT's information. You get full control of your alarm system with this ATP 21 keypad. I have those on my website also. I'm not sure if I focused you guys. Let me just make sure you're focused. There we go. All right, so anyways, I have the boards, I have the keypads, I also have factory chips available on my website. So let's just get back to the board. So there's two things you want to do. Matter of fact, I just want to show you that this is a viable working control panel. So let's go away, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's armed. Then I'll disarm it. Off, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's nothing wrong with this panel. Let's just pretend that this panel is crap and you're the homeowner and you're replacing it. So the first two things you want to make sure you do is you want to get your battery and disconnect it. All right, and set that off to the side. Then you want to disconnect the AC power. You can do it by taking it off the board, but now you're going to be having AC power flopping all over the place when you're trying to replace this board, and you run the chance of damaging the new board, or actually damaging yourself if you get shocked with it. So what you want to do is you want to disconnect the AC power. Mine was just handy over there on a power strip. It's just a plug-in power transformer, and there's a little hole right here on the top that may be screwed right into your outlet, so you may have to disconnect that screw to get this to pull out. But anyways, make sure you disconnect that. All right, so now the panel is completely powered down. All right. So now I'm going to get you in here close and personal with me, and I'm going to show you the process of taking out the board. Oh, matter of fact, I want to get you back here first. Sorry, there's one thing you got to do. You'll probably have an antenna sticking out of the top of this thing. It's just a white tube, and if you feel all the way to the top, you may see a wire sticking out of it. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to wiggle the tube until it comes out of the board, out of this can, and you just pull up, and the antenna comes right out of this tube. All right. You take this tube and you set it to the side, and see how you got your wire antenna right here. All right. You can bend it and everything else, it won't hurt it. All right. Now I'm going to get you in there close and personal so that you can follow along. Let me see if I can get you in there. All right. Let's see. Bring it right up in there. I'm going to try to straighten you out. Back out, and then I'm going to focus you. Alright. So we're nice and focused on that. So you really don't have to, through the video, you don't have to see the numbers or anything down in here. I'm going to explain everything as I go. Alright, I just noticed that this is a little loose here. I'm going to just tighten it up. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is there's 4 screws on this board. There's one here, one here, one here, and one at the top. Just to speed things up, I already took out the 2 of them, these 2 here. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take the 4 screws out, but don't touch any of this wiring down here. What you're going to do after the board comes out, you're going to flop it forward. We're going to install the new board, and then we're going to take off 1 wire at a time. So if we take this wire off of terminal 1 and 2, it'll go on to the new board on terminals 1 and 2. Alright? And right down the line. Just make sure whatever wire you take off of, say terminal 10, it'll go back onto terminal 10 of the new board. So let's take the board out. Let me just take these 2 screws. Drop it down there in the bottom. I got one here on top. And the board comes right out, and the antenna just comes out through that hole, and you just take and just lay the board right forward and just leave it hanging by its wires for now. Now you take the new board that you bought from me, and you take the antenna and you feed it up through the hole, and now while you're with one hand you can hang on to the antenna. All right, grab one of your screws and put it into the board, and put the 1 screw in the top corner here. And that antenna kind of gives you another, like a third hand, just to help you. Now let's see if I can get this in here. There we go. And then I'm just going to put 1 screw over here in the corner. Lift it up. Alright, then we got, alright, so we got the new board installed. So like I said, you're going to fold the old board up, and you're going to take 1 wire at a time off. So this first wire is under terminals 1 and 2, and that is AC power. And you're going to took it off of 1 and 2, so you put it back under 1 and 2. Alright, the next wire actually is utilizing 4 spaces. So just remember, you could even take a picture of this. But terminal 3 is ground, terminal 4 is positive 12 volts, terminal 5 is bus A, terminal 6 is bus B. That is your keypad. So the best thing to do is before you started anything is to take a picture, because you take 4 of them out and you might forget where they go. But anyways, undo terminals 3, 4, 5, and 6 and pull that wire out. Alright, and then put them right back where they were. Under terminal 3 was the ground. 4 was the red for positive 12 volts. Come on, get my fingers out of the way. Terminal 5 is usually always blue or green. That's the A bus for the keypad. And the B bus, which is on terminal 6, is usually always yellow or white. Kind of like a industry standard. Alright, now, there was one more wire that was still under terminal 3, ground. Okay? That wire right there. I don't know if I'm going to make sure you can see it. And then the other side went into terminal 7. If you do have that wire under there, under terminals 3 and terminal 7, that is your siren. So take it off and put your black wire under 3 and the red wire under terminal 7. Now the rest of it is super easy because it's all the zones. Alright, just take them off one at a time. So this one here, you look at it and it's terminal 9, and then the wire next to it is terminal 10. You just pull that wire out and you go down here and you put it under terminal 9 and terminal 10. Lift it back up, and there was another wire already under 10. That is the other side of terminal zone 2. I'm sorry, under terminal 11. So what happens is there was 2 wires under terminal 10, and you put this one wire back under terminal 10, and the other side of the zone goes to terminal 11. Just again, remember, when you take a wire off, it goes on the exact terminal on the new board. So if you take it off of 11, you put it on 11. You take it off of 10, it goes on 10. Because these zones have a common, and the common has usually always 2 wires under it. That's one side of each zone. All right, but just remember the rule of thumb. If it comes off of that terminal, it goes back onto that terminal. Let's go to the next one. Now, if you look, let's get this up high enough. Here's zone 3, and then the common for zone 3 is also next to the common of zone 4. They share a common, all right? But just take the wiring off of zone 3, pull the wire down, get it out from the spaghetti, put your panel back down. And this came off of terminal 12, so it goes under terminal 12. This was under 13, so it goes back under 13. Now guys, this is all geared towards homeowners, not installers. So please don't patronize me saying, oh geez, there's an easier way to do that. Why don't you just pull all the wires off at once and just put them back under? Guys, this is geared towards the homeowner. Is that the right word? Patronize? I don't know. But anyways, guys, you know. You know how to do it. The homeowner doesn't. So let's give them a break there, guys. Give me a break too. Alright, so there it is. All the wiring off of the old board, all on the new board. Just do it wire for wire. Okay? If it's off of terminal 1 and 2, it goes back on terminal 1 and 2. Alright? And that's it. That's all of it. Now, the next thing you want to do is, when I send you a panel, this chip is going to be a factory fresh chip. If you don't want to do any programming, you want to swap your chip from your old panel to your new panel. And I'm going to show you how to do that. All you need is a pair of needle nose pliers, and here's the chip right here. I'm just going to zoom you guys right in on that chip. Let's see, it's right, get my finger. It's right here in the center of the board. It's the only removable chip on the board. Alright, let me just back you out a little bit and I'm going to refocus. It's the only removable chip. It's right here in the center of the board. The Concord 4, it's up here in the upper left quadrant, but on Concord Express it's here in the center. So just grab the chip and just ease it out of that board and throw it in the bottom of the panel. Take yours, your old one, same thing, just ease the chip out. Now make sure you put the chip back into the board, all right, in the same orientation. There's a little U shape on this chip. That is the upper part of the chip. All right, and then you just pop the chip back in to the socket. It's an 8-pin chip. You got 4 pins on one side and 4 pins on the other. Now guys, you'll notice that I handled that chip with my fingers. I can do that because right now I am wearing a ground strap and it's hooked to my belt, which is touching my body. I'm not going to show you that, but I have a ground strap on. So what you need to do is before you touch that chip, try to find anything that's grounded in your home, like grabbing an appliance, a metal appliance or something like that. I'm trying to give you some other examples. Any metal appliance in your house should be grounded. So just touch that appliance first before you touch your chip. All right? Or if you're a professional, you can wear a ground strap like I do. Usually the ground straps they're around your wrist, but those things, man, they drive me nuts when I'm trying to work. So I found this one that actually clips onto your belt, and there's a little like metal disc that is right now is touching my hip. And I've got that grounded. All right, guys, that's it for replacing the motherboard and the chip. Now, I'm going to back you guys out. I'm going to back you way out. I'm going to focus. No, I don't want you out that far. I'm going to focus you. And then I'm going to get this old board out of the way. I'm going to put the let me get my chip out of the way. Put my battery up in here. Now if you notice, this panel has no flying leads for the battery. You have to take that off your old board. Alright, these pull right off the board. They're just little spade lugs. Just wiggle it back and forth, wiggle it back and forth. You take the red one, and it's marked right on the panel, red. So you put that on a spade lug, you take the black one, and you put it right up here on the spade lug, it says black. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to power it up. I'm going to put the black on to the black part of the terminal of the battery, and the red to the red part. The panel livened up. I'm going to give it some AC power. I'm going to plug it back in. Alright. Now it says press the status. It says set the time. So I have another video on how to set the time, so I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to set the time real quick, but I do have another video on how to set the time and date on one of these. So you hit 9, put in your code, system menu, and then it'll come up time and date. You hit pound, and I'll say 0852 pound, and then you go up once, and there's the date. It's 060523 pound. Then I want to get out, hit up, end program, pound, and there we go. Nice green light, just like on the other panel. I'll arm it. Away. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll disarm it. Off. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hit the 3 twice. Off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing it too fast. Anyways, guys, that is how you replace the motherboard. You swap chips so you don't have to do any programming. Power it up, power it down. That's the change out from start to finish. And guys, on my next video on this same little setup here, I'm going to show you how to install one of these ATP 2100s. It's kind of tricky on how to get this thing open and mounted on the wall, and that's why I want to make a video for you. These are really nice keypads, so the ATP 2100s, and I had those for sale on my site, and I'll leave the links down below. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Give me the thumbs up, ring the bell, whatever you do, and thank you very much for watching. And if you appreciate this, I appreciate a donation too to my PayPal account. 50 cents? All right, thanks, guys.